All right, so I'm going to give appreciation to all you guys that are tuning in and watching us. Thank you for everything that you're doing, because this cannot happen without you guys. Super excited for what we have to come. Yes. Huge thank you for everything, because this cannot happen without you guys. Our next stage cannot happen without you guys, the audience, tuning in and watching us. So super happy for that. All right, so let's get into it. This is Fiddler Talk. I'm Saber Main, and that's Reaper 1. Let's make it happen. All right, so this episode, man, what did I do? I called you. Oh, you bringing out the banjo. All right, let's hear something. You know what? Before we start, let's hear it. There it is. All right. I told you I got something. Remember when you
making this much? I told you I was making this a much funner show. If fun is a word.
Yes, it is definitely a word. I will make it a word. So remember, I told you.
I like it. I like it.
You told me to get a desk friend, right? Remember that?
I did.
Well, I've been looking, and I decided to go with a different kind of desk friend, because it's pretty
I'm so
cold
excited.
here. It's been snowing, so we bust out. Welcome to my buddy. Yeah, it's my buddy.
My buddy
Mine's
talks.
a lot better. My buddy doesn't, but my buddy likes to sit and watch and listen. So there's my buddy. All right.
I'm almost positive Elmo moves. So,
dude,
100% positive Elmo moves.
I don't know. I think I think he's living life here with all this coldness. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if he goes outside and enjoys the cold weather that we have going on. So.
So.
All right. Let's get into it. All right. I kind of called you up and we kind of discussed a little bit about what we were talking about. Well, I've been in a class, and this class I've been in was actually kind of good. Because it was talking about retention and recruiting, right? And it started making me realize, because I had to dig. It made me dig deep to figure out, like, all right, what is the ultimate mission on the military, right? What was the purpose of me joining the military? What was the purpose of me getting out the military? What was the plans? What was that? So we're looking at planning, and I had to sit back and realize, like, hey man, I got out of the military, but I lost my purpose once I got out. And I feel like a lot of veterans have that issue. They lose their purpose. And I don't think it's just veterans. I think it's the public in general. When everyone's all like, I'm pursuing to just be happy. But being happy is not what you're pursuing. You're pursuing a purpose.
So I get exactly what you're saying, man, because I did the same exact thing, right? And I had all these ambitions and all these goals for getting out. There was a reason I got out, right? And I didn't really focus on becoming an NCO. I didn't focus on doing really, really well. And I'll be honest, I was really good at Army stuff. I'm really good at Army stuff. You know what I mean? It's not hard, right? But, right, I could have focused. I could have been so much better. But I was focused on what I wanted to do, right? I was focused on my music. I was focused on my business and the way I wanted my life to go, which is great. It's what you're supposed to do, right? But as soon as I get out, so much stuff happens. So many things pile on your plate at once. You're just like, forget about it, man. You really do.
Isn't that called like the monkey throwing the wrench in the plans?
I hate that monkey. I hate him.
Yes, that monkey.
But I might now get a desktop monkey. I'm not sure.
Dude, I want to say how much I say that. I need to go find a monkey with like Thor's hammer, or like, where he's like throwing it. I think that would be perfect too.
You could just give him a wrench.
No, dude, I don't say it's Thor hammer that comes down on me. Like, oh, guess what? Here's this plan. Boom, change of plans. Figure it out. That's how it been. So, we kind of look at this, and we're talking about planning, and there's a couple things that I wanted to kind of cover. And while I was in this class, I kind of wrote some stuff down because we were speaking about it. And I was like, dang, man, like this stuff is reality. Like this is true. So I got a question for you. When you were talking to your retention, did retention, let's hear it.
I never talked to retention.
That's a problem.
I never talked to retention, and they never talked to me. Not once.
That's a problem. I'm going to be honest.
My sergeant major would be so upset if he knew that they never came to see me once. Or never called me once. He would be so upset.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. Because I bet you majority of people never wanted to leave the military. They just wanted to feel like the military wanted them. Because I bet you if you ask some of these soldiers that are getting out and be like, hey, what can I do to get you to stay?
Well, the biggest, and I wholeheartedly believe this, and I've had a lot of talks about doing my sergeant major about it. So we were, we'd be out in the motor pool really late, me and him just working by ourselves, only ones in there, you know what I mean? We'd be talking, man, and I feel like the biggest reason that guys get out of the military or young ladies get out of the military, and it's young, right? It's young, that's the key.
It's first termers.
It's because they get in when they're 17 or 18 years old, right out of high school. They've never had a job. They've never been by themselves in the real world. They've never been out in the real world. And all of a sudden, they do this job, and it sucks. Work sucks. And they don't realize that it's all work.
All right, I'm going to correct you on that.
Every job is work, and nobody realizes that.
No, work doesn't suck. Your mindset sucks.
Well, no, I agree, right? But their mindset, the way it is, right? They get in, and they all of a sudden have responsibilities, and they have things to do, and they have somebody yelling at them to do stuff, and they don't put two and two together. They can't realize that other places, other jobs do the exact same thing. They think it's the military, and that's why it sucks.
Yeah, so
that's the big problem. If you had to have a job before you got in the military, more people would stay in. Because the military is great.
Yeah, yes. Now let me put this. I don't think a lot of people come out, and you got to understand. You got to find the moral and the values of people. And I realized this in myself because I was sitting there and we were doing this, and we had to question ourselves through this class. And one of the things that they asked is they're like, "What's your moral? What are your morals and what are your values?" All right. Right. And I had to sit back and realize, like, all right, when I joined the military, what was my morals? What were my values? What did I value when I joined the military? Well, what I valued is I valued people. I valued the team. I valued the people I'm with and the people I serve with. And that was kind of going into.
For the people?
Yes. And then here's the next thing, my morals. People,
that's my wife in the background. Don't ignore her. I just realized I can see her head like right there,
bobbing back and forth.
So sorry. Continue.
Yes. So I value people. I value being in a team, and I value being there with other people. And then my morals were in line with my values, right? So I joined the military for the adventure and for the people, to be around like-minded people. When I got out of the military, I sat there and I had a plan, and I called you the other day, and you kind of talked me into something, and you kind of put me back on track because I lost it a little bit. But when you are getting out the military, when you're first term and everything, and you're looking to get out the military, you have all these big plans on what you're going to do when you get out. And you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. Well, some of us get out and we do accomplish those missions. We accomplish all those plans that we said we're going to do. I actually accomplished mine in about a year and a half. I accomplished all my missions and succeeded what I wanted to do. And then I lost purpose.
Better man than I have not.
So, but what happens when you accomplish all those missions and you're like, now what? What do you do?
Well, that's a great question. So, And I notice for my work specifically, but mine's more creative, right? My work is much more creative. It's the music aspect of everything. I just start adding stuff, man, and I don't even accomplish stuff, and I add stuff. You can't see it, but I got my whiteboard up there. I've got Fossilized Records, which is my record label. I've got a list of things I need to accomplish there. I got Fiddler Talk up there. I've got Apologia, which is my band, and my personal music all up there. So, designing merch, writing songs, doing albums, all that kind of stuff. And I've got all my extra stuff that I add onto it. Like I've picked up writing short stories, which I kind of like doing. And I only picked it up because I wrote something, and somebody told me that it was actually really well done. They actually thought they're like, who wrote this? What author is this? I'm like, oh wait, no, I wrote that. It was the best compliment I've ever gotten. They thought somebody nice, somebody high up there wrote it. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. So I started adding, right? So I got my list of stuff to do, and basically, and it's very military because I just add stuff I want done, and I make a short goal list and I just do it. So once I make a habit of crossing something off, putting something back on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you continue with
small things.
Planning.
It could be like pursuit of knowledge. I need to learn drum programming. It's up on the board. I want to learn piano mixing a lot better. It's up on the board. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I think of like small stuff where it's like, you know what? Like I had an idea for this new song. This is the song name. I'm putting it up there. There we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're continuing with stuff. So again,
you gotta keep it rolling.
Yes. If you're a veteran and you are feeling like you lost your purpose, don't come to us, come talk to us, and we're gonna try to help and direct you in that direction to try to get you back on board. Because I fall out of my purpose.
I do
and everything.
I do too. Yeah.
And some days I sit there, I'm like, dang man, I don't know what I'm doing. And I call it the wave, right? Because everyone goes through the wave. When you first join the military, what are you? You're in that peak of the wave. You're climbing that. You're like, man, the military is great. Blah, blah, blah. You get your unit. You're there and leaders. If your soldier, I have heard this. If your soldier is so hula and like, yeah, this is so cool. Don't break them down. Cheer them on. Keep them hula. Keep them in that. You want to keep them there. What's like, if your soldier's coming in, and all your soldiers, listen, if you're listening to this, you see that new private coming in and they're like, oh my God, the Army's the best thing I ever did. Cool. Make them feel like it's the best thing they ever did. And if you're a retention NCO, what's up?
Hold on. I hate to interrupt you, but that is the biggest disheartening thing in the world. And it happens to everybody. Because you're a PFC when you get to your first unit and you're like, no, I kind of like it. I might stay in. And everybody tells you you're going to hate it. Give it time. You'll hate it just like us. It sucks. This is the worst thing in the world. Give it time. Like you'll get there. Everybody does that. Everybody says that stuff. And it's so disheartening because you could be a PFC and just love it and be contemplating doing 20 years. And it's the people around you that are always getting out and always talking you down and just talking the Army down. It's terrible.
Yeah, all right. It doesn't even go for the military. It's even in a job.
Yeah, you froze for a second.
Yeah, where do you go, Reaper One? Yoo-hoo. Well, we'll see if we're still recording. Well,
you're gone.
Here we go.
All
right, so
I can't see.
I'm going to continue forward.
Hello.
This even goes into your job. Yeah, this is distracting. We're going to have to cut this and come back and do another one. All right, so that we just froze, so we had to reconnect everything.
I'm sorry. It's not my fault. It's
always the producer's fault. It's always
the weather.
It might be the weather.
It ain't my weather.
It probably is my weather out here. We are getting some snow right now.
Yeah, the snow. Yeah, it's definitely your weather.
Yeah, weird. Hey, look, it's you in the back.
Oh God, I had to get that out.
All right, so we were talking about
what were we talking about?
So we were talking about as a private coming into the military, cheer them on if they're being who.
Yes. Okay.
And that also goes into your workplace. Like if you're in a workplace, cheer them on for being Hua, like Hua, whatever. It's huge. I think that's a huge thing overall because, and you as an E4, you should be taking that private under your wing and being there for them because it is your job to keep them in the military. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, you should stay in the military, whatever. But I'm not gonna lie. You came into the military. Did you say this is a serious question? When you came into the military, did you say you're going to be there for 20 years?
I contemplated it. I did, but I was thinking that I could do it for 20 years. But I can't do music in the military. I personally can. I'm sure other people can't, but I just can't. So there was that whole debacle. If I was not a musician, I would have stayed in. 100%.
All right, so I heard a story. I don't know, was it you or I want to say maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was someone else. They're talking about this guy that was like a musician in the military. Like he joined the military, but he was a musician and he was playing music all the time. And he was so
yeah, that was Hendrix. That was Jimi Hendrix, man.
Yeah, I think that was you that said the story on the last podcast, right?
Yes. That was like the last podcast, I think.
Yeah, so I sat there and I was like, dang, man, that's like thinking about that. Like that's crazy that this person came in and he tried to find a way to get out. Well,
yeah.
Anyways, let's get back to it. Earthquake or what?
I can't. No, my mic. I guess my mic stand was just up on some ledge and it fell. My bad.
So, again, getting into it. To know your morals, your values in the military. Also, don't, as leaders, be don't like be there for the soldiers. As a retention NCO, it is your job to meet. You should be, as a retention NCO, it should be your job to go and meet with those soldiers as soon as they get there and talk to them and find out like, hey, what's their plan in the military? Because look, lives do change throughout the military, and that's kind of huge. But life changes in overall, so their morals and values do change. But it's you to get to the back end to understand why they're changing. And that's also going to life. So when we're talking about planning, when you're getting out the military, when they're getting out of the military, it should be your job to go out there and help them not only succeed through the military, but, oh, I'm getting out the military. Great, good. I'm happy that you're getting out the military. What is your plan? All right, I hear your plan. How can we help you execute that plan on the outside of the military?
That'd be great.
Here's the next thing. Did you ever get called from anyone in the military asking how you were doing outside the military?
You mean like when I got out?
Yes. Did anyone check up on you and make sure you made it home or anything that was in the military?
Yeah.
That was a higher leadership.
I had a staff sergeant call me probably about a month after I ETS'd. Asked me, he's like, hey man, you're on my roster. Like, I just want to call you, check up on you, see how you're doing. Make sure, if you want to come back in, let me know. So that was, and I didn't know him. So that was really nice. And then I've also, obviously, I had my recruiter station that I joined in on. They called me and was like, hey, like we saw you like just ETS. We just want to call you, see if you had any questions about anything, want to come back in or something like that. Make sure you're doing okay. So I had actually 2 people come out, call me.
That's amazing. That's huge. That's what I was going to say. And
I had a muster duty, and that NCO, he was a sergeant first class. He talked a lot to me about stuff too.
I think that's huge.
I think we had 3, but the muster really doesn't count.
I say one of the huge things as a leader, I think you should reach out to the people that are getting out of the military and be like, hey, I just want to check in on you. I just want to make sure you made it home fine. Everything at home is going great. How are you doing as a person? I think that would be a huge game changer through the military to be able to go and ask those things. And you will see retention in the military will change. You would see attitudes in the military because without those things, you're not going to go and talk to you're going to talk good things about the military. So those people may have kids. Now you're going to be like, hey, my kid probably should join the military. or stuff like that. Not just because it's a tradition or anything. So I think that's some huge things. Also, I realize we're going to be talking about teams, so we're going to be talking about a lot about platoons and sections and stuff like that in this. Getting into the other part of now you're exiting the military, you're done, you're out. It's coming to planning. We know Reaper won some of his plans. Some of his plans were to do music and do stuff like that. And look, you're out here, you're accomplishing your mission. You're in. You kind of gave us a little in scoop of what you're doing from there.
I feel like I am, man. So right now what I am doing, and obviously, so I have my label that I'm working with. I have my personal band, my personal music, and then the Fiddler Talk stuff. I am going to be 100% honest. Right now, I'm using the GI Bill to learn as much as I can about music and to take 3 years of my life, because I have basically 3 years, and well, about 72 months, so it's kind of like 3 years, to do nothing but school. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the years that I have, I'm not working, because we can afford to live and still save a little bit of money. And I am choosing, right? And I could work in my spare time, but I'm going to work on all my stuff. I'm going to work for myself. So basically I'm going to work for myself. I'm not going for a degree in school. I'm just learning as much as I possibly can right now. So I'm in music business class. I'm in taking piano, which is it's the only musical class I've ever taken. I've never taken a musical lesson in my entire life. So it's really interesting, actually. It's pretty neat. So I'm doing that. I'm taking electronic music, which is a super great class. Great teacher too. Shout out to him.
I just want to put this out there. I'm going to put this out there. Everything that Reaper One's doing, and he doesn't know this, is in line with the Fiddler Talk and Fiddler Initiative and everything. And you know what's crazy about this? I didn't tell him any of this stuff. Like, he's just out here doing it, and he's in line with where we're going.
I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. And I struggle. I struggle so much with it. But this has given me the opportunity to sit and practice piano and practice guitar every day and really work on my vocals and work on my writing. And I'm still looking for other band members. So if you play in the Daytona area, let me know.
I mean, we talked about this. Bands are hard.
They are. And I have a drummer and I have a bassist, and they're both in the military still, and I love them to death. It's hard though. It's really hard to do it like scattered everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying. I'm working really hard, and I just started school. Right? Just started school in January. January has been a super great month for me. We have the Fiddler Initiative to be working on. I've been trying to do something that sucks every day. I just killed my legs. I couldn't. I almost had an asthma attack on the stair climber towards the end. We did leg day, and towards the end I did leg climber, and I was like, I almost passed out in the car. I was like, I got up, I was seeing stars. I'm like, dang, gotta drink some water.
All right, so I gotta put this out there. I've been that weird guy going to the gym with an IOTV. Making sure I have my shit on me. I've been that guy that's taking a ruck and walking on the treadmill. I'm not gonna lie. I will say I have decided not to do it outside because I don't want to slip on ice. I'm prone to
I don't
falling.
blame you there.
I am prone to falling, and
plus
I really don't want to
break a hip. You'll break a hip, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just saying. All right, so I was in my jiu-jitsu class and I was rolling around with a couple people, and I'm not going to lie, I have broke my toe 3 times now. The same toe 3 times. Like, obviously, we kind of tape it together, put it back. But it's fine. But I have broke my toe 3 times for running around on the mat. I'm like, dang, I'm doing something wrong and I need to figure out what it is. So,
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so so January, we had the Fiddler Initiative. I got married to love of my life.
Yes.
Bless her heart. I don't know why she loves me. So I did that. I started school, which was really great. Making money with that GI Bill. If you're not in and you're going to school and you didn't go in, do 3 years, get out, go to school.
Yeah, if you're
don't go to debt. Don't go into debt for school. They'll pay you to live and pay for your school. It's crazy.
I say, like, you earn the GI Bill, go use it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
So.
But yeah, and I'm in. I got a new place. In Daytona. I'm like 3 minutes from the Daytona Speedway. So January's been really great for me. January's been really, really great for me. And I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm trying to be better. Of course, sometimes I don't go to the gym, and I'll be honest, I haven't done something that sucks every single day this month, and I don't like that. But it's hard, and that's the point.
Yes, I always say it's discipline that builds the consistency. You don't need motivation to do it. Like I think I put a video out on our TikTok, saying, "Hey, this is your sign to get into the gym." All right, but at the same time, I sit there, I'm like, I don't need to motivate you. You just need to have the discipline to go. Look, if you're just going through it, like, I'm not gonna lie, some days I just sit there and I'm like, man, I don't really want to go to the gym. Probably should go to the gym. And now that we're getting into there, I'm sorry, I'm like jumping all over the place a little bit, kinda. But I kind of wanted to talk about. I kind of want to talk about this because I heard this saying too. You're from Florida. I talk about, hey man, when I come down to Florida, we're going surfing. All right. So I kind of
surf, but we'll do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that because I don't know the terminology on the surfing. I'm not big in surfing. I do a little bit of snowboarding here and whatnot.
This is a huge left field for us right now. We're talking about surfing. This is great.
Yes. Yeah. So, but somewhere I kind of like use surfing, and I heard it from not only from other people that have been in, but the terminology on it, I kind of like it a little bit. So when you go surfing, and I know the basics of surfing, all right? Like when I go down to Florida, we're going to go surfing, and I'm not going to lie. That'd be a video to watch how many times I go down.
We'll record. We'll definitely record. We should get some GoPros. I don't have a GoPro. We should get a GoPro.
Oh, I have. I believe I still have 2 GoPros.
There we go.
And I'm buying the drone, so we'll have the drone up going.
If you want to see us fall on our faces in the ocean and possibly get attacked by sharks, and I'll fist the cuff with a shark. Okay? I'll do it. He better fin slap me because I'm going right for the face, right for the shark face,
right in the nose,
right in the gills. I'm punching him.
Oh, you go. All right,
come on, Peter. Come on.
All right. So the terminology I'm going to take away from surfing is you're out there and you got to pedal out there, right? So you're just kind of like pedaling out there to get out far enough from shore. That is your childhood. That is you growing up in childhood learning, right? That is everything in your childhood that you're learning. All right, now I'm coming up on a wave and I got to get ready to stand up. That is you entering adult life, standing up, and about to face everything that you're going to face. Now, all right, I'm on that wave. I'm hitting that wave. I'm surfing. Like, I'm going. And I'm still standing. Next thing you know, I go down. All right, you go down in the water. Now what? Like, that is life throwing that curveball at you and putting you down. You have an option at that point, and your option is either swim to get to surface, get on your board to try again, or sink. That's your decision. So pick the one that you're going to go do. Well, I'm going to go get back on my board.
I like it.
I'm going to go try again. That's what I took away from surfing. I think surfing would be a good terminology. Like, all right, this is it. And I could use it in jiu-jitsu. Like, all right, I'm rolling with someone. We take it to the ground. We're now down in the ground. And I'm kind of like defending him, getting ready to get him in a pin. Well, he gets out of it. I'm getting pinned. All right, he got me. I tap. Now what? Do I get up and do I just lay there and quit? Or do I get back up and do it again? So it's kind of talking about talking about competition.
Biggest thing I ever learned, and this is a great lesson that I had growing up my entire life, because I was a rodeo king. You always get back up on the horse, man.
Yeah.
Always get back up on the horse.
So that's kind of like what
I had that driven to my brain since I was like 4 years old, 5 years old, something like that.
Yeah, you always got to get up and continue to move, continue to fight. But someone told me this just recently. They're like, you may not always have a plan. Sometimes you just got to ride the wave and see where the wave takes you.
I like it.
And sometimes you do. Sometimes you guys wait. Hold up. Let me ride this wave and see where this wave is going to take me to.
So enough seriousness. Enough
Let's
seriousness.
get into it.
I have one question for you, and I want you to answer. It's going to take you a minute, okay?
All right, let's get into it.
What is the one event in your life that you just can't explain? I want the story. You know, like you were sitting there, you saw something, you're like, I have no idea what it was. I want to know.
One event in my life that
one
I
or two, it don't matter. You gotta just something you can't explain, you know?
Something that I cannot explain. It's the reality check of getting out the military. When I officially got out.
Buddy, you're taking the question wrong. I'm talking like aliens and ghosts and
all right. I actually
big,
do got
6 foot spider thing that like tried to eat you. You know what I mean?
We are losing each other again. Do you still hear me?
I'm so sorry.
No,
I can hear you. Yeah, we got you.
Am I on your screen still? Because you are lost on my screen.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool.
I can see you, and I think we're good because I'm the one recording. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think we are good. It just says recording in high quality. It should connect again. We'll see. As long as I'm good. So, all right, something I cannot explain like that, bro. I will say, I was high school. We did some. I'm not really good. I was good, but I wasn't good. I got into some trouble.
Well, bad kid.
Somewhat.
Bad boy.
Right. So I don't recommend this. This is not something I recommend to anyone to do. If you live in the state of Utah, you know about the old mill and the story about the old mill. Well, me and my buddies we were driving around and we wanted to get into old abandoned places. Well, during a certain season of the year, you could go to this area, right? So we decided to go and acquire tools to cut through these bars. And we got into the building, so we cut through these bars. Obviously, it wasn't supposed to be in there. And we took a camera in there, and we were recording. And I swear to you that we pushed record. I swear we pushed record. I'm not kidding. As we were going through the building, we found like this painting, and we touched it, and it was wet paint, still wet paint. And we're like, "There's no way this is wet paint. This can't be wet paint. Like whatever." And then we started hearing noises, and obviously the mind plays tricks on you. And who knows? Who knows exactly what happened, right? So we all get scared, and we start booking it out and trying to crawl through this little hole. And we get back to the car, and we're like, let's watch the video and see if we seen anything. We go through and try to watch the video. Video gone. Completely gone. I swear we pushed record. I promise we pushed record. So that's something I cannot explain. We definitely did that. So that was
I like
that
it.
was an interesting.
I like
it. Was interesting. And great times, right?
I told you I had a good question for you. I liked it, you know?
Yeah, no, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I had one, and I'm not sure if it was just lack of sleep, because I was in the field. Laying on top of the Bradley, right? I got my CBC on. I'm just listening to the radio. It's my radio check. I've taken like 3 hours out of the night because everybody, my lieutenant and my gunner needed sleep. So right, I'm sitting up there just looking at the stars, man. It's quiet, nobody's on the radio, and then all of a sudden, like, I see this thing fly over me, and it was like a dragon. It was shaped like a dragon, but it was like silver and completely like polished and like round. You know, every limb was like almost like a sphere. It was completely almost mechanical, but also looked like a dragon. It kind of looked like it. I don't know how to explain the look, but it flew over me, and it was not a plane. It was not a plane, and somebody else saw it that night too. And I just, dude, I like, laying down, and I'm like, what the fuck was that?
All right.
Freaking out.
you just remind me of something that happened. All right. We're in gunnery. I'm with my gunner, and I'm with the colonel, right? Well, lieutenant colonel, right? By the way, when we bring him on the podcast, we will ask him this, and he will tell you. Like, I wish that day that when they were listening to us speak through the mics, I wish they record what we were saying. I wish I had that video.
You talking about the foot bandit?
No, dude. We were talking about. So we're pulling up. We're getting ready to go shoot. Obviously, when you're with the lieutenant colonel, you shoot first, right? So we're up there and we're about to go shoot. And I'm not kidding you. We were sitting there and we did all of our checks, everything, and we're making sure the gun functions. Everything functions. Everyone's like, "All right, I'm up," and then Lieutenant Colonel goes and he looks down and he's all like, "Hey, Sergeant, come up here and look at this." And he's all, "Do you see that?" He's all, "Do you see that?" Out there towards the range where we're gonna shoot, there's lights. There's like a formation, right? And he's all like, "Do you see that?" Like, he's all, "That's not. Those aren't helicopters. Like the way they're moving, they're not helicopters." So like, that's not helicopters." And he's over here like like everyone's talking now. That like, we're all like involved, and we're like, "Do you see that? Do you see that?" And then all of a sudden, gone. All of them gone. And he's like, "Whoa, what is that? What is that?" All of a sudden, the whole Bradley just non-functions. Everything that we just checked, everything just non-function. Guns non-function, everything non-function. And he's all like, "The gremlins have got us. The gremlins got us." So I think, yeah, when you get into that, it's kind of, man. Whew.
I like it. Back to the serious stuff. I'm trying to do this differently.
Yes.
So you were telling me the other day about a conversation you had with a former friend. Who,
yes.
I'm sure he's still your friend, but showed a different shade of colors.
Different shade of colors.
Let's talk about that.
Let's get into it. So we're talking about the team, right? And this kind of like, I'm gonna represent into the military how this works too. I actually had this all planned out earlier. That's
why I want to talk about it.
Yes. So, I went over to a buddy's house and we're sitting there and we're hanging out, right? And just being guys, talking, whatever. And he starts talking about the podcast and he starts asking me, he's like, "Hey man, when you start producing, you start making revenue and you start doing all this stuff in the podcast, you should cut out your co-hosts and going in on yourself, learn how to do all the producing and all your stuff." And I'm like, "Well, I understand how to do the producing, but why would I cut out my teammate? Why would I get rid of my co-host? If anyone," I'm just going to be honest, Reaper 1, like I say this a lot. I appreciate you because you do a lot for this podcast. You do
appreciate
a lot.
You too, man.
So, but he was like, you should cut your co-host out. And I was like, why would I cut my co-host out when he does all my producing? He's part of the team. And I think that's huge. If you're the type of person you're like, "Oh, I'm just like," you're going to cut someone out, that shows kind of your colors. Like, are you going to be a team player? Are you going to be part of the team? Or are you not going to be a part of the team? One of the huge things I could say overall, as a team, being a part of a team, you got to understand, like, why, one, me and Reaper 1 did serve together. obviously served together. We
No,
it's just
really,
no, right? That's so crazy, right? How dare you think we serve together, right? So again, when you're, I say the military is weird. The military is weird because you could be. I was talking about this too. I'm like, in the military, when you meet someone, I think the bond you make with someone, and you're not just teammates. You don't just become friends, and then you're not just a family. It's more than all of that. That is the point of, like, again, being into the Fiddler community is we're not just building a team. Like, oh cool, you're on a team, let's just do it. No. This is bigger than that because it's more than just a family. It's more than that. It's more than a community, and I can't explain that, and only certain people understand that. And I think that's huge. That's huge from different aspects, and some people won't realize it until they have to. It also shows your true colors. It really does. When you're like, oh, well, you should go and do this. I think that's huge. It shows your true colors. But going into the military side of it, we talk about, all right, so you have, I'm going to use 3 corps because, like, you got the core of the Army, right? And they operate at that level. And then you go down, and you got division. And that they operate at their level. And then you go down further, and you're going into brigades. And then you operate at that level. Now, is it battalions? Because I'm a scout. We don't we don't use normal Army terms. So we say squadron. So we have our squadron. And then you drop from there and you go into troops. And then you drop from troops down into platoons. And then from your platoons, you drop into your squad. And I think the biggest thing that a lot of people don't see when you're in your squad, and this also in the workplace, the workforce, when you are in a small team, you should build a bond, a community with your team.
Dude, I don't think young men today have realized the importance of the men around you.
Yeah.
It is insane. The men around you it's so important to your development as a man and as a leader. And to get stuff done. You can't get stuff done that is worthwhile without help. I could not do this podcast without you. Even if I tried, I wouldn't be able to do it without you. I mean, I could. It would be much less quality.
Yes.
And I obviously, right? I'm sitting here trying to do band stuff. I can't do this without my band members. I need them guys. They're the blood and the work of everything, I can't write a bass line like my bassist can write a bass line. Shout out to Ryan Kinsey. I can't write a drum line like my drummers can. Shout out to, Gonzalo Elizondo and Jacob Dodd. Like them guys are insane.
Yeah.
I can't do that. It's crazy. I can play guitar, yeah. I can scream, yeah. Can't do what they can do. Yeah. I can sit there and I can try, but I need them guys. And I need you because the business side of this podcast, I can't do. I can edit videos and post stuff all day. The business side I can't do. The business side of the foundation I can't do. I need you for that. You can tell me to do squats all day. I can't do the business side of the foundation, and I will try, and I'll do whatever you need me to do, right? Because we're a team. We are a team. But I need you, just like you need me. And we can't do this alone. And I don't think young men really understand the impact a good team has on you. And it's kind of sad because especially you'll get in your early years of the Army and kind of write people off or you have no idea who people really could be to you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I say a huge thing when you take it and you put it in military aspects or in a works area, being a part of bigger in the team. I would want people to understand you got to build basically a rapport with that person, right? I'm not gonna lie. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I put
you can't
Reaper 1
sit on a screen line by yourself.
Yes, I put Reaper 1 through some hell. Well, I know how to tick Reaper 1 off like he knows how to do it to me. Like, I can sit there and I'll be like, all right, I can challenge him to a point where he's like, I can see he's getting frustrated. I'm like, I got you. I did that. And
I like it.
I mean, me and another guy, we did this one night. We sat there with Reaper 1 and we were just egging him on.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. We sat there one night and we egged him on that night. And
I feel like I took it well though, you know?
Yeah, you did. We challenged.
I did fit in my points. Though. It's great. It was a good conversation.
It was. And all it was is just testing Reaper 1. Just testing him. That's all it really was, just testing him. See if it was feasible for us to do it. But he still took it, and he didn't throw a fit over it. So I give you props on that. And I do, like, in a team.
I will tell you that I curled into a little ball in the corner of my bathroom and cried my eyes out that night.
Good. You deserved it.
I'm kidding. I ate a bowl of hot sauce and went to bed in my closet. Slept on the floor like a man.
No, you didn't. I know what you did. We made sure. No, we definitely did that. And I feel like in a team, you got to understand that yes, you can agree to disagree, but there's also a point where you put your differences aside and you continue moving forward. So if you have a problem with a teammate, and you're definitely in the military, if you have a problem with someone in your squad, you need to understand, like, you could agree to disagree, but you're a team, and you will defend that person no matter what. You will not let that's your little brother right there, or little brother or sister, and you're going to defend them.
100%.
So,
that being said, we're out of time.
Are we? We're out of time on this one.
It doesn't look so because we lost connection, so I had to stitch it together. So the video is really 45 minutes long, but it's a little. Okay. It looks short.
All right.
So once again, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I don't tweet very often, but you can go over there and tweet at me. You know, hey.
Yeah. Hey, look. I was thinking about this. Maybe we should come out with our own, like, Saber Main Twitter, and maybe do a Reaper 1 Twitter. Maybe. I don't know. Have the Fiddler. I don't know what we're doing. I'm not a tweeter. I don't tweet. I'm not.
I don't either. I don't. It's only for this. For you guys. And nobody responds to me right now. It's kind of sad. So go over.
Yeah.
Tweet at me if you have Twitter.
Go tweet. Just he wants to see the bird.
Send one letter. I don't care. I'll respond to you with another letter. We'll play a game.
Our Facebook so far.
Doing really well. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, Facebook. We just need you guys to hit that follow button. Mainly, again, if you don't want to do that, at least go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and all that stuff. I know this video is probably mainly seen on YouTube.
So subscribe, comment, like, share. You could technically dislike if you wanted to. It'd be kind of sad, but you could do it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. Stay in the gym, stay after it, do some challenging. We will continue. This is episode 6.
I know, it's crazy, right? We're already in episode 6.
Yeah, we're getting there. Again, our shorts. I hope you guys enjoy the shorts. There's that.
We'll post a lot more shorts. So this week, and by the time you see this, it'll be last week. But it was last few weeks. I was a little lack on posting, and it's my bad. A lot of stuff happened.
Yes, a lot of movement going on in the life right now. Again,
another thing, we'll be in February, so the Fiddler Initiative is going to change, and we'll talk to you more about that here in another video.
Sweet. Yeah, let's end this and get into the next video.
Reaper 1 out.
All right, Saber Main out.